And live from another trip. I look exhausted, but I'm super happy to be with you today. Prab, where are you right now?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Because here's the thing. So at our last episode, I felt I was caught a little off guard. I hadn't been to Kolkata before. We picked a spot where I hadn't been. But today, so my background, I've actually technically been here. So the background is Moscow. I was on a flight once and we had a layover in Russia, in Moscow. So I think that counts. So I'm going to say I've
I'm
been
going
in
to get my
Russia.
fact checkers on that. While he's in Moscow, I'm in St. Petersburg, Russia. We're in Russia, and we're going to welcome our next guest, Ellina. Come on down. And we are not in your hometown, is what I'm told. Hi, Ellina. Hello,
Hello, hi
hello.
everyone.
So I thought you were from St. Petersburg. Prab clearly thought you were from Moscow. We're both wrong, apparently.
Yes, I live in a small town called Salavat.
And
Nobody probably heard about it before.
comment if you've heard about Salavat because Prab and I have a map right here and I'm trying to look at where Salavat is. This is super cool because we're from Winnipeg and usually people say we've never heard about Winnipeg. So welcome
We
to
know
the
the
team.
feeling.
So
Thank
Elena,
you.
tell us a little bit about Salavat and tell us a little bit about Russia. I think you're going to teach us a little bit of Russian geography.
Well, Russia is the biggest country in the world, and its area is, if I'm not mistaken, 17.6 million square kilometers. Its
Wow.
population
Ooh,
is 146 million people.
how
And
do you know
this,
these
my
things?
knowledge from high school, I didn't prepare this.
So Prab will
Really?
fact check to you and it'll go somewhere in there and we'll see if Elena is right.
I'm
All
gonna have
right,
to take
Elena,
Alina's
Okay.
word for it. She sounds pretty
yeah,
confident with those
you
numbers.
are very if you
Yeah.
asked me the same about Canada, I would not know. All right, Elena, let's dive right into it. Tell us about your studies at ICM virtually. You've been one of our virtual students, so tell us about studying with us online. How has it been?
Okay, this is my first semester, and I didn't want to waste my time and waiting for uh, lockdown and coronavirus go away. So I just wanted to continue my studying after high school, and I'm really enjoying it because I didn't expect such well organization here at ICM, and I can be sure that if I have any question or any problem, I will definitely get help here, and it's
That's
really cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
have you made some friends from outside of Russia? Have you met some classmates?
Yes, I chat with some students from my other classes, and yeah, we're good.
Awesome.
yeah,
All
that
right,
is
Prab, over to
awesome.
you.
That's really good to hear. A special shout out to the academic and advising teams for making the transition smooth and keeping things organized. Next up, let's switch gears and talk a bit more about Russia again, because I still want to know. So, what are some places to visit around your hometown?
Around my hometown, well, that's a difficult question. Because Moscow and St. Petersburg, I guess, the most popular cities in Russia, and a lot of sites there. But around my hometown, well, I live near to Ural Mountains. Maybe you heard about them. They divide Europe from Asia.
Oh, that's
Yes, I did hear
cool.
about that
Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
and there are some ski resorts there, and I go there every winter. So yeah, if you want to do that, that's a great option.
That's so cool. So the mountains divide the continent. What side of the continent would you say you're on?
I live in European parts.
In the European part. All
Yes.
right.
Wow.
That's super cool. Okay, keeping on with the theme of this hometown. Favorite food from your hometown or favorite food from Russia?
Well, my favorite food from Russia, like a traditional Russian food, I would say dumplings. I really love them. That's I think you know what is it? It's
Yeah.
pieces of dough with the meat inside. Yeah, and we have a soup called borscht. Maybe you
Borscht.
heard
Yeah,
about
we
it too.
know we
Yes,
know
it's
about
red.
borscht. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
red because of beets. That's
Yeah.
an ingredient that makes it red. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe another thing is piroshki. So the explanation now will be similar to dumplings, but it's completely another thing. Well, it's a dough, but more like a bread with
Yeah.
different stuffings and sides, like meat,
Yeah.
potato, eggs with onion, fruits, vegetables, all you want. You can put inside.
That's awesome.
Nice. Well, I've had all three because we have somewhat of a Russian community here in Manitoba that's been here for years and years and years. And I've been able to experience them from Russian Canadians. So great choices on top foods.
I
Brad, over to
will
you.
add, yes, the first time I actually had borscht was at the UFM on campus in one of the residence halls, and I was instantly hooked. It's so good. It's one of my favorite soups. So yeah, I guess speaking of UFM, let's bring it back a little bit. You've mentioned that you've been studying here at ICM online. Did you have any surprises when you started online, or has there been a favorite part so far with online studying or online events?
Well, I can't remember any surprises. It was all smooth and calm. I'm totally okay with it. And my favorite part, maybe I can think about WhatsApp groups from different courses. And exactly one WhatsApp group is from Math 1500, because we don't only discuss math there. We also chat and laugh and just joke. And as for me, I always have a lot of fun reading of their messages. Yeah.
That's awesome. You've built a community already and we're virtual. Wait till you get here in person. That is super, super cool. Can you tell me, a lot of our viewers, and we're just going out on a limb here saying a lot of our viewers, but Ellina is obviously one of our avid fans of Isolation. She watches every week. A lot of our viewers will be future students that are starting in January. They'll have the same experience that you've had studying online. What kind of advice would you give them as they're planning on starting their studies in January?
Well, my main difficulty was to adjust to new daily schedule because I have almost all my classes at night. And I would really recommend to choose classes at the time you are comfortable with, because in some days, I end my studies at 6 or 7 a.m. and it was difficult at the beginning. But now I'm okay with it. So yeah. And my another advice is be an active student. I mean, communicate with other students, with your instructors, and if you have any questions regarding the material during the class, you should ask questions.
Yes.
Yes, and
Ask.
yeah, and I would recommend to join different activities offered by ICM because they are always a lot of fun and they are useful. And as my ILC instructor said once, 1 hour spent on joining one of these activities is much more useful than 1 hour spent on Instagram or YouTube. And I completely agree with her.
That is a great quote. Yeah, that's your ILS instructor. Can we give a shout out to the instructor? Do you remember the
Miss
instructor's name?
Strobel, Karen Strobel.
Miss Karen Strobel. All right.
Yeah.
A big shout out to Miss Karen Strobel. 1 hour spent on, what was it? Say it again.
1 hour spent on joining one of the ICM activities is much more useful than 1 hour spent on Instagram or YouTube.
Nice. Shout out to Karen. That's a great quote. Make sure you still watch us on Isolation on Instagram,
Of course.
But yeah, of course, yeah. All right, Prabh, I think you got another question.
Yes. So we're wanting to know, are you looking forward to coming to Winnipeg?
Yes, of course. I really wanted to go to my winter semester, but in current situation, we can't do it now. So I'm really looking forward to go to in April, actually.
Well, we're really looking forward to having you joining us whenever that is. We're super excited for all our incoming students. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Ellina. Thank you for joining us. We loved being virtually not in your hometown, clearly, of Salavat. We will fix that somehow because Prab's going to put it on the map in the video. But I'm in St. Petersburg, Prab's in Moscow, Ellina from Salavat. Welcome to the ICM family, Ellina. We'll see you, as we promised last time, at the end of our world tour when we bring everybody together. But thank you again for joining us, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next week from a new country.
All right,
Thank you
take
for
care, everyone.
inviting me.